Hi there, friends of Be Creative Conference. This is Volandino, traveling through space. I wish I could be there with you today, but I'm so far away right now. However, I'm sending you my little message through video conference. And I'm very excited because this is such a beautiful and extraordinary creativity event, my friends. So, this is my message to you today. What have I learned through my long travels to the edges of the universe? Well, I've learned that our mind is like a box with inputs and outputs, like a box. And in adults, this box searches for efficiency, efficient because our resources and energy is limited. And because of that, there is a danger, my friends, that we become prisoners of a box that creates these channels, these paths of least resistance in our minds, through which our thoughts tend to flow. Every mind is a box, and you are its prisoner. So we can become the prisoners of this entity, of this box, of our mind, of our brain, in which our thoughts tend to flow all the time through these channels, these paths of least resistance, of experience already created and tried and tested. So this is a big danger, because nothing feels worse than being enclosed on a little narrow box. Tell me about it. Look at my spacecraft, it's so little. So nothing feels worse than that, but there is a solution, my friends. And this is my message to you today. Well, there is a chance to escape. I urge you to embrace this alternative, this friend, that of course is called randomness. Randomness. And there are many types of randomness. There is guided randomness, directed randomness. There is structured randomness, and there is true randomness. Does it exist, true randomness? Well, if there is somewhere an entity or something that has all the information of the universe, that knows everything, every parameter, the cause and the effect and the reason and every little single detail and information and everything of everything in the universe, then maybe for that entity, true randomness does not exist. But for us humans, with our limited knowledge, our limited perspective, it feels that true randomness exists, even if it may be not truly true. But all of these randomness kinds, directed, structured, guided, or true randomness, they are all useful in different ways. They all can help us in different ways. Think about the origins of life. When the first self-replicating molecule appeared. Think about other stages of evolution. And now think about the great geniuses in history. All their countless hundreds and thousands of experiments, trial and error processes. What is common in all of those? In all of those we find that chance, that random combination of ingredients, that bypasses the tyranny of these paths of least resistance and takes us to truly new and original and novel results. Sometimes, as I said, this randomness is guided, is directed, is structured. Like, for example, the improvisation on the piano is supported by direction, by past knowledge and structure, and it's not that true randomness, right? It's more like like guided, directed, structured, you know. These random events, of course, there is controversy. You know, for some people, these are more or less structured, guided, directed, more or less true. You know, but that is a secondary thing. You know, we're talking about bypassing the tyranny of these paths of least resistance. We're urging you to welcome into your life any of those kinds of randomness and to encourage it. If you want to become a more creative human being, you have to have this goal. To escape the tyranny of these paths of least resistance that are formed in your mind, through which your thoughts flow. As you know, in many ways we are today prisoners of many things that happen because of how humans were at the beginning of you know, their existence. You know, like the way we crave carbohydrates, for example, sugar, etc. You know, how we behave about food. You know, how the fight and flight response. You know, how we react to danger, and also these paths of least resistance. A lot of these things come because of the environments in which humans lived at the beginning. You know? So in the same way, think about this, in the same way that you try to change your diet and you try to eat in different ways so that you don't behave like the first humans behaved, okay? In the same way, think that you can do the same thing about your thoughts and about your mind, okay? You don't have to be constantly repeating and applying the same patterns of thought just because they are already tried and tested. They are more efficient in terms of energy, etc., etc., etc. There is that friend that can help you escape that tyranny. You know how hard it is to escape these tyrannies. Like when you try to change your diet and crave less, you know, those chips, those potatoes, those, you know, that sugar or whatever. It is very hard because we are like hard-coded. We are like wired to behave like that. And with thinking, it's the same. It is so easy. It is so easy to rely on the, you know, on the automatic thought patterns that come up in our minds. It's so easy. That's why we need a big shake. It is not enough with having the intention. It's not enough, you know, to have the intention to eat better. You know, you really have to stop having chocolate at home. You know, like I know a lot of people that have to do that. If you have chips or chocolate at home, you end up eating it. So a lot of people just don't have it at home. That's the only way, right? So you need to look for radicals, for you know, because it's very hard to bypass something that is so hard-coded. You know, and with thinking is the same. You need to look for radical solutions and randomness. It doesn't matter what kind, direct, directed, structured, or true randomness. That is that radical solution that can help you bypass that tyranny, okay, of these paths of least resistance. What can prevent you from embracing that friend, randomness? Well, fear. You know, fear is in many ways an opposite, right? If you feel fear, it's going to be very hard for you to embrace that chance, you know, that friend. Trust. You need that trust. You need to have the trust and the belief and the motivation that you want to escape that tyranny. Again, try to think of the analogy. Anytime you want to bypass something that is so hard-coded inside of you, like the behavior with the food, the behavior with danger, the behavior, in this case, with the patterns of your thoughts. Alright, so trust. So my friends, I urge you to embrace this friend randomness. And you know, one of the things that I do in my spacecraft is to develop tools that can help you embrace this friend randomness. So if you're interested to know more, you can contact me anytime, check the websites, etc, etc. And that's it. For now, I'm just going back to embracing my friend randomness and continue exploring and coming up with new ideas. And you as well enjoy this beautiful, beautiful conference and bring some of that randomness into your life.